Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So Apple TV has a new Peanuts special because they bought the rights to Peanuts Charlie Brown. And it's a Mother's Day one. I like it. I love all the voices because they sound just like the original characters.
They nailed it.
They nailed it perfectly, and I love that. And I love the fact that it's still that timeless era. People aren't running around with cell phones.
We don't even know what time they are.
Yeah, it's just like kids being kids, and they're still like playing in the park and doing what kids do.
They could be back in the 1960s. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with that.
I love that about the Peanuts and how they kept that. They didn't try to modernize it. But so the whole point is it's Mother's Day. And then, even Pigpen's like, oh man, the stores were packed. I had to get Mother's Day. Now the kids like, oh no, it's Mother's Day. We have to make mom breakfast in bed, all the things you want to do. But Peppermint Patty's just kind of on the side.
And she's kind of mad.
And kind of irritated how everyone's obsessing over Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. And then, she gets like really angry and she's talking to Marcy. Because Marcy's like her best friend. It's like her confidant.
Yeah.
She's like, Mother's Day is like, well, I don't have a mom. Because maybe her mom died. We don't know the situation.
Right.
But it's like, all I have is my dad. So everyone's doing all this stuff for Mother's Day. I feel bad. And he's showing everyone even like Woodstock. And I love it. He knows the moms. Big Pin, his mom. Oh, thanks, Mom. And get to write her, give her a card. And
make
all this
making
stuff.
Me lunches and all that stuff.
No one can explain how Pin has been taken away by social services for being so stinky and wearing the same clothes.
But there's always that smelly kid in school.
Yeah.
But it's sweet and it's kind. But then Peppermint Patty's like, oh, my dad just does all this stuff. So that's why she's such a tomboy.
Right. That makes sense now.
That's super funny. I love that. It's a cool little...
See, I don't mind that because now it proves out. That this totally makes sense. Now that whole point.
It's funny because it's not important, but it's also like, all she ever had was a male influence in her life.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, my dad does all the things. I'm going to do something special for my dad because he's like my mom too.
Right.
And then Narcy, is like, because there's all kinds of different kinds of moms. And we should celebrate all the moms. Like some kids even have two moms. But here's the thing too. What if there's a kid who has to grow up with the aunt or the grandma?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not technically their mom.
But it counts.
But it counts. So your sister can be your mom. Some people, the sister has to raise the
way
kids.
they handled it was very good. They weren't trying to say it's good or bad. It's just a thing.
It is.
It's a thing, yeah.
That's how it should be handled.
And usually with Marcy, she's the one that actually does...
Analytical.
Yes, and she also has a really big view of, like, everything. Yeah. Because Barry can get very,
Here's the bottom line. A two-parent home, regardless of the gender of the parents, is always better for the kid.
Better than having no parent.
Yeah, I'd rather have a kid have two moms, two dads than having to grow up in a foster home where I'd rather than have
a family. As long as it's a loving family, I don't care.
If they love their kids, that's all that matters.
And they're taking care of them. Yes.
So, and again, of course, the music gets you. It gets you. We just see all the moms, and even the kids make their cards because they make it with all their hearts.
Yes.
And that's what makes little kids awesome.
I will say I like the last Peanuts movie was like it was all CGI. This one looked like 2D with 3D kind of effects to it, which I kind of like.
Yeah. It's I love it. I think it's really cool. I love the message because there's all different kinds of moms, and it could be your auntie, your uncles, and it can be anybody.
And Peppermint Patty has this great idea of like, well, then I'll just celebrate my dad because he's like my mom.
He deserves it too.
Yeah,
because he does a lot for me.
And you have all the hijinks, the cake falling on.
Charlie Brown tried to make breakfast. Of course, he ruins it because he's Charlie Brown, and he just messes up everything. And it's never 100% his fault. So you always feel bad for him.
That's what made me feel bad about the last movie because a lot of it wasn't his fault.
No, he was doing everything right. But I do in the movie, the one that went to theaters, when he was doing the talent show, he had like a magic act. But then his little sister went out there and she's effing up. So he goes out there, sacrifices, everyone's going to make fun of him, but he didn't want his little sister to fail. Right. Then that's Charlie Brown. And I love that about him, that he went out there, made a fool out of himself just so his sister wouldn't be embarrassed.
Right.
He'll take the embarrassment.
And I feel like they've kept that kind of charm with this new special that they have.
The music. And of course you have like, Woodstock is going to go kick the football, but again, Woodstock weighs up ounces, just falls over.
Exactly. What I like about it too is I hope they keep the same spirit and make more specials. I love that.
I think that's why Apple TV bought it. I think they want to make new
and keep it in that timeless time where you don't have to be like, oh, let's check Facebook and oh, here comes Twitter. Don't have any of that.
Right. And
just kids after school, and your social network was the school bus where everyone's just chattering. That's your social network.
Right, and because I kind of like in some cartoons cartoons, when they do that, they do the modernization, it just throws me off. Like,
yeah, I don't like it at all.
I'm sorry, when I see Bart Simpson with a Android phone, it just throws me off.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Here's the thing too. Also, like you could take these, like you said, these shows and put them back in the past, and it fit perfectly.
Yeah. And then the story and the message shines through. Because you have lovable characters that you care about, and you feel bad for them, and you want them to be happy. Kind of reminds me of a lot of the Rugrats Mother's Day special, because Chucky's mom was dead.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of like, well, maybe I don't deserve a mom.
Right.
That's the saddest effing thing for a kid to think. And he thought his mom went away because he didn't give a good enough Mother's Day present to a little kid. That's how their understanding of it.
And then it kind of helped because Charles was also feeling bad, but he actually talked about the mom, and then he got a better understanding of like, oh, my mom's everywhere. My mom is
because she loved the garden.
Yes.
So in the flowers, when I see beautiful flowers, I see my mom. Oh my God.
And the one thing I'll also say too is no matter what, Snoopy's always cool.
Yeah.
He's always cool. He's always will be the eternal cool character. No matter what.
Even when Snoopy tries to be too cool and he messes up, it's still cool.
It's so cool.
Even when he F's up, it's cool. Like the way he would lean on a wall with his sunglasses. He just looks like an idiot. But it's cool though at the same time.
Yeah.
What I did love about the Chucky arc, talking about Rugrats here, is when Charles remarried, then he's like, I have two moms.
Yes.
Kimmy's my mom and I have a mom in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so sweet. I love that. But this is another, the sweetness and that storyline, even though it's freaking over a decade old, resonates forever. This is that kind of story, that kind of message where a little kid can watch it and think, oh, wow, I don't know my mom. Maybe something happened and my mom's not in my life, but there's other people in my life that provided me that love that a mom would. I can love them.
This is the message. This is how like Mr. Rogers would do it. Yeah. Like this. This is how you do it.
Yes, and I feel like from the first two movies, the movie and the special, if the special turns out really well, I almost feel like I feel good about them making other specials.
Yeah,
if there's like a Halloween, Christmas, or something like that, I can cool, let's do it.
And it's not like, oh, these two moms are better than men. No, it's none of that garbage.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm better because I have two moms. None of that. It's good that you have people that love and care about you and take care of you. That's what matters.
Yep.
You have adults in your life that you can turn to that care about your well-being and they want you to be happy. And that's what the Peanuts is about. It's about love, understanding, and caring.
And I always love the classic jazz they always play in the Peanuts.
And the music is perfect. Yeah. And all the kids, they still have like their little ways about being kids. Oh, I like your mom when you make me lunch, but I don't like tuna. Like they throw that little I'll give you some comments. Here's some constructive criticism. I just love it. It reminds me of just a different era.
Yeah,
where kids aren't obsessed with Fortnite dances and who's the biggest streamer and I want to do the big TikTok star. It's not that. It's about kids like your biggest thing's like I hope they pick me first in the baseball match in the baseball game at their school.
What if we end up seeing the girl in red? Do we see her at all?
Probably. See, she was in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
And that was really sweet because he had her pencil and he just wanted to give it back to her, but he had to make this giant thing about it. Just give it back to her.
Yeah,
he was just I love it. Charlie Brown deserves to be happy.
Timeless.
It's timeless.
Mm-hmm.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.